Yo, what is up everyone? My name is OJ and welcome to the Village of PlayerEssence, where you can come get all of your gaming and Nintendo Switch news. But before we hop into the news, we have a new ninja in the family, and that is my doggy here. This is Lashes. She is the newest ninja dog in the family and the only ninja dog in this family. And she will straight up do some genjutsu on you guys. So you guys better all be nice to Lashes. Say hi, Lashes. Say hi. Alright. Do a shadow clone. So anyway, let's get into the news here, guys. So Nintendo has talked about this before. I've talked about this before. And once again, the Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo Switch. Let's talk about those three consoles, okay? Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch. Alright? Those two systems that I mentioned before, Nintendo's current generation systems, before the Switch launches, Wii U and 3DS, they are pretty much being combined at this point to the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is essentially going to be the successor for the Nintendo 3DS, because Nintendo's pretty much said it here. Now, I've talked about this before, but I definitely want to make sure that we close the book on this one, because we still have some people saying, oh, well, the 3DS is still around, it's going to be some type of third pillar or anything. No. No, it's not. The Nintendo Switch is a hybrid. They want everyone who buys Nintendo consoles and who buys Nintendo portables, they want them to start buying the same thing, and they want games to come out on both of them so developers aren't scrambling to support one system or another. It's just simple. It's obvious. But of course, Nintendo's going to talk about it a little bit more, so let's get into this. This is a quote from Nintendo. I think it's from Takahashi or Koizumi-san. So here we go. You've mentioned the 3DS there. Will you continue to support the dedicated handheld given Switch could potentially replace it? Certainly, I think 3DS from a price perspective is quite a bit lower, and it's a system we've released a very large library for. So I think from that perspective, it's a very good system for kids to have as their first system. We still see a lot of potential for 3DS in that area, and with that in mind, we're thinking of games to release for 3DS not just in 2017, but in 2018 as well. And the hope there also is that kids playing on the Nintendo 3DS will also shift over to Nintendo Switch at some point in the future. So Nintendo's kind of making a nice transition. Obviously, with the Nintendo Switch, you're seeing a lot of adults in the marketing. You're seeing a lot of the marketing really catered towards the adult crew and not necessarily the kids as much. If you look at the software that's coming out for the Nintendo 3DS this year, pretty light. Obviously, you had Pokemon last year, which was big, but a lot of the stuff is like the Mario Sports Mix. It's just kind of games that really aren't on a big grand scale outside of a few. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia is one of those games, so I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more. I think there's Oasis coming, but that support is dying down a bit, and we're seeing a lot of massive games for the Nintendo Switch. Usually what you'd see in the past when it comes to portables versus consoles, Nintendo would release a lot of great games for their portable console, and their home console would get good games, but it would be very spaced out. You'll see droughts a lot of times with Nintendo home console, whereas the 3DS and the portables, not so much. Portables also always have better third-party support for the most part. But with the Nintendo Switch, we are seeing a lot of those 3DS developers kind of migrate over and start to make content for the Nintendo Switch. And I think eventually that's where everyone's going to go to. He's right about the price, because the price point is a lot cheaper in some regards. I mean, you look at it, you can get a Nintendo 2DS, I think for $79.99, but those don't sell that great. Actually, the Nintendo 3DS XLs, the new Nintendo 3DS XLs, sell better than the 2DSs, and those are $199. So it is one of those things to where Nintendo, yes, it's still $100 cheaper, so it's a cheaper entry point. Obviously, the used market and all of that, the games are going to be cheaper, but eventually people are going to migrate over. I think kids, once they start making their own money, so if a kid is 15 and then all of a sudden 2 years down the road, he's now 17, he's probably working, he can probably buy a Nintendo Switch if he likes the Nintendo 3DS. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of uses for this device. Some people are going to exclusively use it as a home console, some are probably going to use it as a portable exclusively, and some are going to use it as both as it's intended. And personally, the majority are probably going to do that because of the nature of the games on the Nintendo Switch. But overall, I think this just goes to show you that, yeah, this is a replacement for both the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS in the long run, because it is a portable and it is a home console for a true hybrid. I do know some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, well, why are they even supporting that in the first place? Necessarily with the Nintendo Switch, they want to get everyone to buy that system, but at the same time, you have to realize that not everyone's going to have that type of money to purchase the Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo 3DS is still an alternative for them to get some money rather than no money, because sometimes when people don't have the money to buy something, they might just not buy anything if there isn't a cheaper option for them. So at least some people can go to the Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo 2DS, and those systems to get something cheaper first and foremost, and then maybe later even trade it in and get a Nintendo Switch. So that's what I would think people are probably going to do if they can't get the Nintendo Switch right off the bat, and if they still don't have a 3DS at this point. And of course, as I'm ready to wrap this video up, some new news breaks as of the time that I'm recording this, that Ultra Street Fighter 2 will have a new first-person mode pretty much confirmed. I know we saw a little glimpse of it beforehand, but that is going to be confirmed in addition to an art gallery and engine info. So there will be a new first-person mode. This is the part of the unique game mode called Unleash Hadoken. It is specialized for the use with the Joy-Con controllers in a first-person view. A screenshot on the box art shows a timer and also features multiple Shadowloo soldiers. The art gallery will have over 250 pages of artwork, and the box includes the logo for the MT Framework engine. So there's some interesting bits of information pretty much littered throughout that box art as far as the back goes, and this new mode actually seems kind of cool. It might be some type of like rail shooter type mode to where like you have a time limit and you're just like punching and kicking people and throwing Hadoukens with the Joy-Con controllers in first person. Necessarily won't be the first mode that people play, but will probably be something that's a nice little side distraction to the main modes that you're going to be playing, which is going to be online, and of course the single player arcade style modes versus with your friends. So any more content that they add to this game is great. That's one thing that I really like to see, is when they do add that extra content in, because there's been a lot of discussion and debate about the price of this game. So the more content that's in here, the better to justify the price, whatever it ends up being at. Another thing that I want to talk about is the MT Framework engine. So we do have confirmed support that engine that runs on PS4, Xbox One, PC, that can also run on the Nintendo Switch, which isn't really big news, but it's always good to see. The more engines that pretty much can go on the Nintendo Switch, the better. So having something like that in the first year is definitely good. I'm not sure how many engines did that for Wii U or how much ran on Wii U. I'm pretty sure it could, but I know Capcom didn't really support the Wii U much anyway. So it's good to see at least this amount of support, and then hopefully later down the line we're going to get more games from Capcom. I'm pretty sure we'll have Monster Hunter and other titles as well. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, and discussions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.